Hello everyone, welcome to something new for us, a World of Tanks showcase of perfectly unscientific gaming. I'm King Kulla, and today I will be showing a video of me driving the Tier 8 Japanese medium tank STA-1 on the map Live Oaks, with my good friend Shane, who is driving a German-heavy VK100.01P tank. So, something interesting about this map is that it does have a city area located in the top left corner of the map, and a fairly open area to the south with a railroad tracks kind of spanning the high ground, and there's a few hills here and there for TDs to make note of, and where they can hide to try and take position to snipe down some enemy tanks. So as I was going into this map, I was kind of thinking, gee, I feel a bit underpowered here. I'm going to try and hide and try to take up some sniping positions to try and get some damage in. So as you can see, I'm kind of sitting on a hill right now behind a bush, and I'm trying to take fire at some of the light tanks that are poking out to try and do some scouting. But as the STA has pretty good camo for a medium tank, it's kind of easier for it to be able to hide into a bush and to not be able to fire very much. So as we're going through, let's give a bit of a background on the World of Tanks game itself. For those who don't know, it's a tank-based game which is set up into squads of 15 versus 15. And it's a multiplayer game, evidently, and the tank classes are set up into 5 different classes: light, medium, heavy, self-propelled artillery, and tank destroyers. Almost forgot the last one there. So the tanks themselves are set up into different tiers, ranging from 1 to 10. Tier 1s being probably the very first tanks built back in the 1920s, with the other ones going up into the post-World War II and ranging all the way up to Cold War tanks. So the STA is at a Tier 8, which is in the higher bracket. So in this game, there are Tier 8s, 7s, and 6s to shoot at. So as we go through, not how much has been happening. The tanks in the north have been getting into the city, including Shane. I've been kind of the only person in the middle trying to keep an eye on things. And you see me right now trying to take down a Borsig, Rheinmetall Borsig Waffenträger, who is trying to snipe at the people in the city, but I'm trying to provide covering support, and he falls back under the fire. So there's another one there, a J Panther II, which also starts falling back as I fire upon him. And as you notice here, I've actually changed my battle tactics somewhat since this replay went in place. You'll notice that I'm doing a lot of auto aim, which is locking onto the tank's central mass, and you'll notice that I'm doing a lot of ×8 zoom rather than going up to ×25. I actually changed that recently so that I could have better sniping capabilities on a lot of tanks. So you'll see that I'm kind of staying back. Most of our southern contingent has fallen, leaving a VK3601 at the base, as well as me. So there's 6 tanks over there in that location, so the heavies on the city side have to be able to push through to maintain map control. So I'm kind of staying in the center, trying to cover against the J Panther II, which is trying to get back and not die. Meanwhile, we've got a few lights and mediums heading in towards our base, which I take note of. Shane takes note of in the chat there, and I move into a better position to try and spot them. That light bulb and the noise you just saw came up there, which meant that I was spotted, which I was spotted for the first time in that map, so just goes to show how good the STA-1 camo is. So I'm trying to get into a better position to see at the cap. If you look in the mini-map in the bottom right there, there's a green circle around the tank, which shows what I can spot, and the white circle shows what others can spot me. And the yellow circle beyond that shows tanks that can appear on the map itself. Beyond that, they are past the draw distance. So I was able to take out the AMX ELC Biz while he was on the move and while not spotted, which is a very lucky and good shot indeed, I think, if I'm not tooting my own horn too much there. It looks like the mediums are coming up on my position on the other side of the hill, but they're not able to spot me just yet. So That's good for me because that means I'm able to cover the cap a bit more effectively. They're moving around, and it looks like some of the tanks that were in the city are moving back to try and help defend the cap for me. So we notice that an email has been spotted at full health just below my position there, which is a tough tank to get through with my gun, which is 218 pen with 240 alpha with about a 7-second reload. So he is an autoloader tank with 4 shells with 3 seconds apart with a very tough turret. So that's going to be a very tough tank to try and get through, but I will definitely do my best. So as you can see, I haven't really blocked any damage because I haven't gotten shot, haven't gotten spotted too many times. But I just get shot there by a T-34 who was using his tough turret armor to try and peek over the hill without getting shot too much. And he was able to land his first shot on me there. So I got about 1,600 damage so far, which is pretty good. It's more than the HP of my tank, so generally you want to do about the same amount of HP that your tank has in damage. So trying to get through that T-34 over there, but he's proving a very difficult opponent. So I try and get in on the email. I block a shot from the Bulldog. You can see it comes off from that direction over there. Meanwhile, that J-Panther 2 that I was shooting at earlier is still alive, and it looks like he's pushed back to their base. And we're putting up a big defense here. There is about 7 people left on our team and 7 left on their team. So it's a very even match so far. You guys notice that the percentages next to the player names, that shows their win percentage, and Shane and I are sitting at about 50% right now, which makes us yellow, and a few players on their team are green and purple, which means they have much higher win rates, which usually in statistics generally means that you have a higher chance to win. So for us it was about 40% or so, but it just goes to show that statistics aren't everything, and you can always win whenever you try hard. So it looks like the T-34 took down Shane in his VK-100, and which leaves me in a worse position because having a teammate on my side is always a good thing. So time comes and it's down to 6v6 now, and we have to try and get another tank down here. I was looking towards the low there, which was spotted in the bottom left-hand quadrant of the map, and I'm trying to get into a better position than him. I'm auto-locking onto him to try and get a central mass there, but as he moves back, I'm going to try and aim for the back part of his tank, which is his engine deck, to try and get through a bit easier, because he does have some pretty good hull armor. So as he's moving in there, I'm just going to be firing blind on him to try and do some damage, punish him while he's still spotted, get him almost down, and just one more shot would be able to do it. And then I take him down, but unfortunately they have taken 2 of us down at the same time, with the defender and the challenger. So now there's just 3 left on our side versus 4 of them, and 3 of their remaining players are very good ones too. So that T-34 is still causing problems. He's still just poking up, which making it very difficult for me to shoot him. As you can see, that railroad track providing a lot of cover for him. He's trying to shoot the the KB5 back at our base, which is trying to hide behind some buildings, try and keep him spotted. Their M4 is trying to do some flanking around, but he must have forgotten that the Mutts and I are still here to cover the middle. So now we're back on even terms at 3v3, and I think it's about at this point where I decide it's time to move in. Bulldog is trying to do a bit of flanking, trying to spot the Mutts and I, but not able to do too much. So I just decide, we're down to 3 tanks, I've got about 1,000 HP still, let's just go after him and finish him off. J-Panther I know is very low health because I saw him very early in the match, and the T-34 is on the other side, so he won't be able to come back in time to help. So this is about the time to move in. Spot the Bulldog, he spots me, so I have to be wary of any J-Panther shots that come in. But taking a few wild shots here as he's moving around. I'm not really in a good position to shoot him, so really at this point I probably should have conserved ammo. As you can probably notice in the bottom center, I'm down to 2 standard AP rounds. So at this point I switched to APCR because that's the end of the game. want to make sure you do right and go through. Those are actually heat rounds, not APCR, my bad. So at this point, you want to make sure that you get through the tanks that you need to. J Panther is spotted. He's trying to move, but I get a shot off on him very quickly before he's able to spot me and finish him off. So now it's 3v2. Still alive, still got a good amount of ammunition left, still a good amount of HP left as well. So now I'm trying to track down that elusive bulldog who's been trying so desperately hard to spot me and get away before I could shoot him. So I switched to HE ammo, which is able to do more damage on less armored targets and go through. And the bulldog has basically negligible armor, so trying to go through that way, I think. Still have all my repairs, and as we go in here to the last portion of the game, we'll see the bottom part here, bottom part of the map rather, that shows the railroad tracks and how many hills are down here and how many places you can hide in. The Mutts, meanwhile, and the KV-5 are staying near the base to try and defend that against the T-34, and the Bulldog gets spotted near them, so it's making my job a little bit harder as I'm trying to get to them, trying to get back in range to be able to shoot him. He's moving back, trying to spot him through the trees, but it's going to be a very difficult shot to get on him as he's moving very fast. So I'm just deciding to get up a bit closer. The STA is better. It can do some shots very good at range, but not when they're moving very fast. It is a fairly accurate gun, but there are more accurate ones out there, and it's better to just finish them off at closer range at this point. It's got 47 HP to my 1028, so chances are pretty good that if he gets a shot off on me, I'll still be able to get a shot off on him. So now just comes the time to try and go after him. I'm just making sure that he isn't flanking around me on the bottom part of the map, and to see if I can get a shot in on that T-34 while I'm at it. So the Bulldog I'm coming up on his last known position, and he's still not there. I'm trying to shoot the T-34 in the back, but the Bulldog gets spotted to the left of me. He gets a shot off on me, but it's only able to damage my track, which is good, because it means that I didn't get hit. And done damage to, at least. I'm figuring that the KV-5 and the Mutts probably have that T-34 under control, so I'm trying to chase after the Bulldog, which, if anyone has chased after dogs before, it's not actually easy to do, because they are much faster than you are at most given times. So at this point, we have about a 47% chance to win, because there's 3 tanks to 2. 7% chance to stay alive, but I think I've got this at this point. Still trying to go around him, but he makes a critical error, moves too far ahead, and I just go right after him and fire him right in the back. Meanwhile, the T-34 dies right as the horn sounds for the battle ending in 2 minutes, which led to a pretty long game there. But we end up to take the win. I had about 2,300 damage, and with that, we were able to take the victory. So, as always, I'm King Kulla. This was your perfectly unscientific gaming showcase of World of Tanks, and we will see you next time.